What's up, guys? I'm coming to you today because all of these how-to guides and how to learn your camera and like a whole bunch of this stuff that you see on the internet or that you look up on the internet, to see how to shoot this type of picture or shoot this, capture this type of moment. All of that stuff. It's all great and dandy, but every time I look at these, it really doesn't give me, that sense of I'm learning something new. I mean, yeah, you might find, okay, I can do this on this camera now, it's cool. But at the same time, you're not getting the same quality, or you're not getting the same, appreciation for learning your camera or learning how to use it if you're not using it to learn how to use it, if that makes any sense. Now what I'm saying by this is, by using your camera, you learn and you can figure out, the little tricks, the little tweaks, your style of shooting your camera. Now, yes, there are certain techniques that, the how-to guide give you and, they show you, but at the same time, you still need to, learn how to do it on your own. You can't just rely on something that works for somebody else, because it's probably not going to work for you. So I'm here not to give you a tip, but to help you somewhat understand just the manual setting on your camera, because to me that is one of the most useful and the best quality modes or setting that you would want to put your camera on. Because if you have it on all the other ones, they set it for you, but if you look at how you shoot manually and then look how you shoot preset, then you can tell the difference, because it just feels a lot more natural. It feels, a lot more, I don't know how to put it. It just feels a lot more real, because preset, that's mechanical, is figuring out everything for you. Now, once you get into those newer, well, not newer, but, more advanced, more expensive, camera bodies, then, those settings go away and they just give you manual and all of those stuff, which I love, because, that means you know what you're doing, and if you have it, your picture's gonna come out, very just amazing. But you also have to know how to work your camera and, how lenses work as well, and, occasions for lenses and how to use them, lighting, everything else. It's a lot of science in that you don't want to get into it. But what I'm coming to you to talk to you today about is just getting comfortable with manual, because manual, I'm telling you, you will feel so much better when you shoot manually. If it's on a lens shooting manually, or shooting on your camera body manually. And so hopefully this is very informative and very helpful. You get something out of it. So share, comment, and subscribe to my YouTube videos for more videos like this. ISO has to be one of, I'd say, well, I mean, it's part of that whole triangle, ISO, shutter speed, and what's the other one? Just forget it. ISO, shutter speed, aperture. That's what it is. ISO is, that number that you see next to the ISO. That's just how bright. It just depends on your amount of lighting in your room or in whatever environment. If you're outside, 100, 200, and sometimes if your camera goes down to 50, those are the ones that you want to stay around. If it's like a very sunny day outside, and all of that is just your image sensitivity, something, I don't know. Don't ask me what they mean. I just know what they do. So, like I was saying, it depends on the lighting. You'll sometimes get that message about the scenery is too dark, turn your flash. You only want to turn on your flash if the shade is too strong, or the shadows are too strong on one side of the face. So if this side of my face is dark, I didn't want to put a field light, and lighting and flashes and all of those stuff is another category to, you don't want to get into it yet. I'm just trying to learn your camera. It's the F button. No, that's not. Yeah, it's the F/, and then you see a 3.5, 2.8, whatever your lens comes with. So the lenses that come with the beginning cameras is 18 to 55 millimeter. So that is usually a 3.5 to a 5.6, aperture range. And that just is not a fixed lens. So, every time you zoom in, your aperture changes along with that. And that just, all I think of it is how fast it's going to capture, as well as how blurred out your background is going to be. Now let's just say with a 50 millimeter lens, that has the option of a fixed aperture of 1.8, 1.4, or 1.2. Now those, they're fast, but also they blur your background out. Amazing, just brilliant. Let's go with 1855, 3.5 to 5.6 aperture. Not as fast, and it's plastic, so your images aren't going to come out as well as if you had good glass. And let's just go with the beautiful 70 to 200, 2.8 fixed aperture. That, although is a huge monstrous lens, it's still, because of all the quality glass in there, you will get a sharp and speedy image. You know, you won't really get too many telephoto lenses that go below at 2.8. If you do, then it's going to cost the arm and the leg and the heart and the lung and everything else. So you really don't want to get those. And so yeah, it's just how fast and how blurry you want your background to be. How fast, when I remember that, is if you're shooting a sport and you're trying to get the motion and everything, if you get a small aperture, yes, your background will be blurred out, but your subject will be in focus because you have the lens to go. Shutter speed, match that. Shutter speed has to be one of the hardest things to know because it changes everything. Like if you change your ISO, you have to change your shutter speed. Aperture really just stays the same, so it really doesn't matter. And you know, exposure changes with everything. It's how quick you want your shutter to close. That's as simple as I can put it. You got a 1/100. That means it's 100 of a second. That means that it's going to take that long for your lens, for your shutter to close. Now with this, it means it's going to be less blurry and more focused. So for sports and stuff like that, depending on the lighting situation, so you know, depending on all of that, you're going to be able to differentiate whether or not you need a short shutter speed because of your lighting, or you need a faster shutter speed. If you want a darker image or you want a more saturated image, then you will want to go towards the higher ones. Mine only, well, so far I have a 3200, so mine only goes up to 4000 of a sec. Still very fast. So I mean, it depends on how you like to shoot sports or any type of fast moving event, because those are really what you want a fast shutter speed for. And if it's very bright outside, you just want to, you know, use a low ISO, and usually that's going to, you know, make your shutter speed go down a little bit more. So if your ISO is low, your shutter speed should be, you know, relative to around what the focal length of your lens should be. And those are really all the tips I can give as far as that triangle is concerned, because trust me, that is a very difficult triangle to try to learn right off the bat. So you might have to watch this video a few times, or if I didn't explain it well enough for you, leave a comment as well as look at some other videos, because you know, I mean, everybody has different ways of explaining. They might even show you some as well, and this is all about shooting in manual. So forget everything that anybody has told you about you're a good photographer if you can shoot in these settings. I'm not saying you're not. Don't get me wrong. You're a good photographer. You can just improve. Everybody improves. Everybody can change. But my thing is, if you learn how to improve on what you already know, you're going to always be better. That's all I got to tell you today. So I hope you enjoyed that. I hope it was very informative. I always say informational. I don't know why. I hope that was very informative, educational, and I hope you enjoyed that. So, see y'all next time I upload.